So,
Okay, go. It's recording. All right, let's go.
how we met Jeremiah. So, I'll let Jessica take that.
All right, my name is Jessica Butler. I think I'm the
Oh
first
yeah,
J.
and I'm Jessica Jackson, and then there's Jeremiah. So we called ourselves J to the
J
third.
Ward.
Yeah, goofy, right? Jessica B, Jessica J. Oh, J Jacks back in college, and J Ward. So yeah, we'll talk about how we
J
met
Ward.
Jeremiah J Ward.
So I believe it was what 2003
2003.
that we started in Humboldt. Wow, that's a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago. Well, um, we were staying in Redwoods, but that particular night, I remember that we were hanging out in Malgie's room with some
Mm-hmm.
of the we're a small community of Black people in Humboldt, so we really stay connected to each other. So we were
Mm-hmm.
hanging out, and that's where we met Jeremiah. I remember him sitting in the corner by himself, not interacting with nobody, and he had on this white hoodie, and I think it was what Musa Mu.
Musa Mu.
Was it called Musa Mu? Musa
Yep,
Mu,
that's what it was
and
called. His high school clique.
and we're
He was repping it.
right. So I remember that, we're like, who's that boy over there in the corner by himself, just not interacting with nobody. And like so we decided to go, well, I think Jessica Jackson decided to go over there and talk to him and make conversation. And I think that's how it all started. We had a real tight connection with Jeremiah.
Okay. Yeah, so I have no idea what happened from there, but we couldn't get the brother out of our room. So, in our room, we had it decked out. We had cable TV. We had a nice big, I don't know how many inch TV, but it was big for back in the day. I mean, we had our phone hooked up, microwave, refrigerator, like you name it, we had it in our room. So um Jeremiah was always in our room, always on our dang phone. I remember there were a couple times we were taking a nap and we woke up and Jeremiah was right there watching TV and on the phone. We're like, wait a minute, how you did you get a key to our room? Like what happened? So from there, like our relationship, the three of us, our relationship like really flourished and kind of took off from there. Kind of like inseparable. Like I said, people knew us as like J to the third because we were like always together. But I think Jeremiah really thought of our room as kind of like this like safe space, like to kind of get away from it all. He played basketball. He was always at practice. If he wasn't doing that, he was on the road. So kind of like that safe space to just kind of like get away from everything and just chill and hang out.
One thing I liked about Jeremiah was that he was able to be himself, and he just loved to joke around and just chill with us and talk with us. I didn't know Jeremiah as the celebrity basketball player, like everybody knew him. He had that much respect, but with us he was able just to be himself. And Jeremiah, he loved family, and that's like one thing that was really important to him. And I know that he came from like a really big family, and being in Humboldt, his family wasn't there. And
Mm-hmm.
so to be able to be his family was like really important to me and Jessica. And I know with his mother, like she trusts us. I believe she really loved us because we had a phone, so Jeremiah was always able to call her and talk to his dad to check in with them and to see how they were doing. And that was something that we felt really good about. We were able to, make sure that he was connected with his family, even though like his bloodline was not able to be in Humboldt, to have that, to have that support.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So, our friendship definitely grew during that time during freshman year. And then from there, we just saw Jeremiah blossom as like an athlete. I remember like, dang, this is a freshman. He's out there, he's getting some playing
Mm-hmm.
time and he's out there on the court. And just his dedication towards like the game of basketball. Like this dude slept and breathed basketball. Like every time I saw him, he either had a ball in his hand, He had on his, basketball shorts. He was like ready to go hoop. So just his level of dedication for the game was like, nobody I ever seen.
Yeah, and Humboldt, they love Jeremiah. I remember we're in the dorm rooms. I'm pretty sure you remember too. Like we sitting here making signs for Jeremiah. And
Yep.
I'm like, what the heck I'm doing sitting here making a sign for him? Like he ain't nothing special. But to Humboldt and Arcata and Eureka everywhere, Jeremiah was special. He was something that he really touched everybody's lives. Like he was just something that he really cared about for a lot of things. And he loved the sport. And I just remember like people just going to the game just to see him, to see him
Hmm.
play, because he was a freshman playing on a varsity team. And
Hmm.
me not knowing basketball like that and knowing that how much he was loved, that was something that was important to me, and be able to see him play. And I know you want to talk about, used to be cheerleading.
Yeah, so I
So
was a cheerleader. So I mean, it was, I had to know the game of basketball. I had to, know the different plays and everything. So I mean, just to have that opportunity to not only, cheer for the school, but to cheer for my friend, like that was a great opportunity right there. And also one thing that we will always do, so before the game, they would hand out like little programs. I remember every time Jeremiah was on the cover, we would keep them, and so
oh
I still have a
yeah.
couple of them stashed away somewhere because, that was very special. Like Jessica said, we just saw him kind of like Jeremiah, silly, goofy, playing around, like family almost. But, to everybody else and to Humboldt, Humboldt is a very small knit community. So Humboldt State basketball team was everything to that community. And so everybody else, he's a celebrity. But we're like, that's just Jeremiah. So we really appreciate that time we got to like see him play and just to be there, to bask in all of that.
Yeah.
So, did you have something to add?
Oh, I mean, we were just talking about earlier, like Jeremiah taught us a lot of things. I just think Jeremiah's he was way before his time. And
Mm-hmm.
he was so responsible, and talked about credit, talked about being responsible with money. And we were young back then, like I wasn't thinking about stuff that he was thinking about. And
Yeah,
like
he was tight on the pockets. Let's just say that. So what was that? It was his junior year. We all the three of us ended up finding an apartment together, and that was kind of like the best time of our lives right there. We had
yeah.
our ups and downs, but that was like the best time of our lives. Like, I mean, Jeremiah is nonstop jokes in the house, but like Jessica was saying, we really got to see Jeremiah, kind of for who he is, like just this very like humble guy, this very authentic, being true to himself. We also got to see how family oriented he was, because we know he came from a huge family, and this boy sure did shop like grocery shop like he came from a huge family. Like this guy shopped in bulk. We didn't have any room to put our own groceries in there because this dude was shopping every night, making fried fish one night, making fried chicken the other night, fried
Fried
shrimp,
chicken.
fried chicken. Next thing we know, somebody telling us that we coming to school smelling like fried food. We're like, okay, Jeremiah, you're gonna have to cool it on the fried food. But that just goes to show, like, this boy was not wasting money on any just any old thing. Like he would tell us, like, y'all need to save your money. You guys don't need to go spend it. Why are you spending it on this when you can go to the dollar store and get that? So, he was very, very frugal. But I mean, I definitely appreciate him for who he is, and just thinking how much he came from a huge family, so that was the way he was raised. And he taught us a few things about ourselves. So
hmm
just him being his true authentic self, we couldn't help but just kind of laugh it off and be like, okay, Jeremiah, just save us some room in the freezer for when we want to go grocery shopping.
Yeah, like you know, like you said, we had our ups and downs, but Jeremiah's like, that's family, that's a brother. Like he knew when we were sad, he knew when we were mad, he knew when we were happy. And like,
Yeah.
Jeremiah always been honest with us. He always told us the truth. He never held nothing back. And now that we're older now, a lot of things that he was doing then, we appreciate, we appreciate now, how he used to go fishing. And, that's where
Mm-hmm.
the fish came from him going fishing all the time
Yep.
and bringing it back
Yeah.
home to cook it. And I remember the times where his family came out there and they had big family dinners and the whole
Mm-hmm.
family was there, and how much he respect his parents. That's something that I
Mm-hmm.
really look up to and admire, because Jeremiah, his whole point of life and view on things was family, basketball,
Yeah.
and that I know of. But but that's something that he just really really cared about, and
Yeah.
to be able to have him part of our lives and to accept us for who we are, and that's something I really appreciate about him. And we graduated what, 2000
He left 2007. We left
7,
2008. Hmm.
and it was a big adjustment from not having him there, so
Yeah.
Jeremiah was always loved, and still is loved.
He
And
definitely is.
mhm.
Yeah, I definitely want to add one thing about us living together. So Jeremiah, very old school, old soul type of brother. He loved, I want to talk about his love for Jordan. Like this dude loved
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. He had the jerseys, he had the shirts. This dude even had old school Michael Jordan cologne. He had old figurines or not action figures, but yeah, of Jordan in his room, all box still in the box. Like he had like darn near like a Jordan mural. We were like, dude, why you have all this old stuff? Nah, this is a classic. This is classic. So that just goes to show, it's kind of like every a young boy that grew up in like, late 80s, early 90s, they love Jordan. Jordan was like their idol. So that just goes to show like a little bit more about his love for like basketball, how deep it ran, because that he loved him some Jordan. I will never forget that.
Do you remember one year for his birthday? Well, every birthday we made sure we celebrate him, because we were far away from our families,
Far away
and
from home.
birthdays were always important to us. I remember one
Mm-hmm.
year you found these Michael Jordan pictures, you ordered them,
Mm,
you got them framed, and I remember we decorated his dorm room with, like, I think it was black and red balloons
yep.
and colors and stuff like that, and he was so happy, like it didn't matter what we did, like he was always appreciative of what we
Yeah,
did,
big or small.
and he
He
always
appreciated
told us.
the very small things.
Mhm.
Definitely. He didn't have to have this big extravagant party for him and invite everybody. It was just I think it was just the thought that counted. Like not like Jessica said, being so far away from your family, and then also them being on like road games and not even being able to go home for certain holidays. That stuff like really went a long way with us showing like our appreciation and like the gratitude he showed for the things that we did for him.
Yeah, and it's so many more things you can say about Jeremiah, but some, like the fact that we really laid out a lot of the factors that when we talked about tonight. It's just that it just seemed like the years just flew by, and
Hmm.
we talk, like when I talk to Jeremiah, it's like, damn, I wish we can go back in that time. We were younger, we're spending,
Yep.
like, we were all living together, and now we have all our separate lives, and we might not talk all the time, but when we
Yep.
talk, it's like it's right where we left off at.
Yeah.
It's like we still
Nothing
have a
changed.
connection. Yeah, we still have a connection to each other, like the J to the third. And I know Jeremiah always said that he never thought that he would make it through without us, and I feel
Mhm.
like we probably would have made it without him,
Him going to
because
school.
his
Yeah.
friendship was so genuine. Because
Hmm.
being in Humboldt, is far away and it was hard, but just
We had
having
each
that
other's
that
back like a
family,
hundred
right?
percent. Yeah. So no matter
Yeah,
what it was, we had each other's back, whether, like somebody was saying something we didn't like, or, things we're just having a bad day. Like we were just always there for each other. And, that was really important being out there and humble and, you know, having just like a small knit community out there. So Yeah, he's definitely we definitely consider him family. Like those we have definitely is like so many memories that will last like a lifetime, but still to this day, just to have like the same like connection and pick up where we left off, like that's priceless. What more can we ask for?
Exactly. I just believe, I believe in purpose. I believe in God. And that's one thing we left out. Jeremiah
Oh yes,
loved God. Jeremiah loved the word. He believed in it. He went to church every Sunday.
yes,
Every
he did.
Sunday. Jeremiah works hard. He went to school, played basketball, but he made sure he was in church every Sunday to have
Hmm.
that word. And I just believe, like, in life, everything happened for a reason. Like, we met for a reason. We all learn from each other. We're all still growing together, as still as a family. We might not be in the same city, but
Hmm.
we still have that tight bond. And that's something that I really appreciate about Jeremiah, that, he still check on us, look out for us, care for us as much as we care for him.
Yeah. Any
So,
big life events, like we're always calling each other, like, hey, like when I got married and had, my wedding, I made sure he was there, when he got engaged, I'm, a little further away, but Jessica Butler, was there when he got engaged. So we never really we try not to miss those big life events because, those are, we want each other there. Like we basically grew up together because
right.
going to school, being 18 and then leaving, you're in your 20s, like that's a large part of your life where you're literally growing, evolving as a person. So we appreciate Jeremiah and we wish him the best of luck in his journey. We're so very proud of him.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him as well. I love Jeremiah. I know that he has so much, a lot of things to be doing right now, and
Hmm.
I'm so happy that he made this documentary. I watched the first one and the second one, and it just gave me chills because, like, just seeing the footage of his family is like this documentary was meant to be done, and I'm
Hmm.
happy that Jeremiah included us, and I'm just honored that he considered us as family, because I'm a firm believer you don't have to be blood to be family, and that's what you taught me that, Jessica, and Jeremiah taught me that as well. So I just really appreciate you guys. And Jeremiah is an amazing person, and I know for a fact everybody sees that. And I'm just happy to be a part of this process and this documentary. And we love him.
Yep, we love you, Jay Ward.
J Ward, J to the third.
Jay to the third.
All righty.